Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Princess of Pentacles. This is wonderful. This is like you've got a lot of resources available to you. This is kind of like the raw materials for what you're building, right? Unlimited potential. This is kind of like resources that don't run out, right? Let's put this into some context. It could be that there's also a younger female energy around you, but we'll see what's going on with that, all right? Put that into some context. Now we've got a Four of Wands. Very interesting with the Four of Wands too, because that is fire to earth manifestation, right? This is you really having plans, having goals, having an intention and manifesting it. And I feel like there's kind of, if this is the wheel, there's no running out of the fuel for this wheel, right? Yeah, very interesting. Now we've got more fire. We've got a Prince of Wands, a Nine of Wands, a Queen of Wands, a lot of fire energy here, and a Princess of Wands. We've got a lot, we've almost got the whole court here in the suit of Wands. A lot of fire energy, and we've got this earth energy, which is very interesting, because I always talk about fire and earth here, right? More fire, an Eight of Wands. Okay, 10 of Wands. This is getting a little weird now. I hope the next card's not going to be fire. An Ace of Wands. Won't do one more. And of course, a Six of Wands. Yeah. This has literally never happened before. This is all fire with a little bit of earth. Now, what I always say about fire and earth is that it is the will, the intention, the spirit, the creativity, the impulse, the inspiration, manifesting, action, behavior, the earth energy, above to below, fire to earth. Right, spirit to matter, impulse to behavior, right, will to action. That is the perfect act of creation, right? That is the kind of spiritual circuit that just it's manifestation, right? That is the act of creation. The only thing that really gets in the way of that is our human stuff, our thinking, our feeling, our heart, and our mind, right? Which we don't have any emphasis on here. I feel like your heart and your mind are perfect conductors of this electricity, right? Not a resistor, but a conductor. Your mind and your heart, I think, are in such harmony. You have no doubts. You have no fears. Your thoughts and your feelings are one. Your beliefs and your values are in harmony. And we also don't have any major arcana cards. So to me, that's saying that spirit is here supporting everything. That there's no, because, usually we'll get 1, 2, 3, sometimes more major arcana. And that's when spirit really needs us to focus on certain aspects of our spiritual energy. We don't see that here. So to me, I feel like even your spiritual energy is perfectly in harmony. You're perfectly in tune with spirit. You're perfectly in tune with your own heart and mind. So we've got all fire. We've got all will, all intention. We have a lot of creativity, a lot of energy, a lot of ambition, a lot of confidence, maybe some impulsivity. We have a lot of commitment. We got a lot of fire to deal with here, all right? But we've also got our earth. And I think that this is, fire to earth manifestation. And with all of this fire, there really is no limit to what you can manifest. But I feel like this is also working the other way, because this is all of the fuel that this fire needs to keep burning. So we need to see results to keep our manifestation, to keep our inspiration going for the manifestation, right? So it's kind of it's a self-contained system. It's a self-contained like loop of energy. It's really, really fascinating. I've never seen this before. Let's select the mystery card before I forget. And this is going to be one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we are just going to set aside. We're going to put Mr. Ed, the little horse, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. You know, it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, put your hunch down in the video comment section. Okay, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right. We usually do our overview at this point, but we don't really need to. We don't have any major arcana. We've got all fire cards. We don't have any water. We don't have any air. We have a little bit of earth, and that's it. Okay? So where to even begin? I mean, I feel like this spread here is showing that you can literally do anything you want. You have the energy, the power, the resources, the drive, the enthusiasm, right? You've got the imagination, you've got the focus, the attention, the consciousness, the awareness. You can literally do anything. And it's kind of difficult for me because I don't know what you're doing. I don't have any kind of contrast here. You know, I've just got all fire, very bright. You're burning very brightly right now. But there are a few things that we can talk about. Okay. First of all, I feel with the court cards here, I feel like there are people around you. I don't know if these are maybe coworkers or if these are, I don't know if they're friends, if they're family members. It almost feels like they're collaborators, you know. But I feel like you have a lot of very supportive people around you right now. And they're all fire people, right? So I kind of feel like they're your people, you know. I feel like they're just as excited about this life as you are, you know. I feel like you're someone who surrounds yourself with people that really help to inspire you, people that can stoke your fire rather than kind of extinguish it. Yeah. So I think you choose quality people in your life, whether this is friends or family, could be chosen family. But the people that you surround yourself with are people that can help you. People that share the same kind of creative vision that you might have, right? Particularly this Princess of Wands here, because this is fire to earth creation, right? It's Princess of Wands, it's earth of fire. So this represents an impulse, a will, an inspiration, an idea that goes straight to manifestation. You know what I'm talking about. It's that impulsive behavior. Anytime we get a feeling, we do it. Anytime we want something, we go after it. There's no check and balance here. There's no mind, there's no heart to say, whoa, 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 whoa. Not every impulse needs to be acted on, right? So if we're trying to look for something to talk about here, that's one thing we can talk about. Don't feel as if you have to let every impulse through, and you may be so jazzed up right now, so fired up, especially with the Eight of Wands. Now, this is going to be a different reading. Usually we talk about this stuff first, and then we go over here. But I feel like this is all just kind of one big raging fire, right? So we just have to kind of go where Spirit leads us here. The Eight of Wands. You have so much creative energy in you, so much potential, so much fire, that sometimes it feels like you're just kind of jazz hands, right? You're just kind of tap dancing in place. Because you don't know what to do first. It's like I don't even know. You're so hyped up about it that you don't even know where to begin. And if you don't do something, it's going to start building into this like anxious feeling, and the excitement can turn to anxiety. You know. Usually it's the other way around. Usually I say, well, we start with anxiety. Let's turn that into excitement, and let's pick a direction and go with that excited energy into something. I feel like you are already excited, and we have to kind of relieve some of this pressure by doing things, by physical activity, by, manifesting some of this before it turns into some sort of anxiety. But with this kind of energy, an Eight of Wands, it feels like we kind of have to hurry up. And so when we have that energy, we're more likely to do the impulsive stuff, to just whatever comes to our mind, we're going to go do it. We don't think of consequences. We don't consider our thoughts and feelings first, right? There's nothing stopping you from manifesting every single idea or impulse that you have. And maybe that's why you've got this support system around you of these really quality people to kind of help you say, well, maybe we don't do that idea today, I feel like sometimes we need someone in our life to say, whoa, maybe we take a couple of days and think about that, And it is interesting to say that, because I'm saying we don't have any thoughts and feel. We don't have like our heart and mind that are really able to stop us from doing anything right now. But the Queen of Wands is water of fire. The Prince of Wands is air of fire. So we have a little bit of air here and a little bit of water here. I almost wonder if there are people around you that everything you want to do, there's one energy that's kind of the voice of reason. There's one energy that's kind of the emotional aspect of saying, hey, it really doesn't serve our purpose to do that right now. And maybe the court cards here don't necessarily represent two different people in your life. We could say that this is an older female energy that's offering you the kind of, the deeper intuitive wisdom of kind of keeping your behaviors aligned with your values, right? Well, this could be an older female energy. It could be mom, grandma. It could be an ancestor. It could be a spirit guide. It could be just that part of your own soul, right, that is acting in that capacity. And down beneath the surface, we have a more contemporary energy, someone that's about the same age as you, and this could be a collaborator, a brother, a friend, a peer, right, a coworker or something, a partner. That's kind of giving you the rational, perspective. Logically, that doesn't make sense for us to do that right now. And this might be that part of you. It could be, again, a friend or collaborator. It could be, again, another spirit guide, another ancestor, another guardian angel, something like that, right? So I feel like, on the surface, looking at this, it seems like just a raging fire, right? But it also, that really does need a lot of fuel, okay? So when at the beginning I said you have these infinite resources, that's true to a degree, but as we see with the Ten of Wands here, there is the risk that you can burn out, okay? And with the Ten of Wands, I even wonder if this is like, maybe you're starting to feel a little bit, on edge lately. There are times in your day where you just kind of get a little cranky and you might need to take a nap, I make jokes, but I think the Ten of Wands really is those times where we realize that we've pushed ourselves too far. Okay, so we got to take a rest. We've got to have a little bit of a break. This is crazy. I've never seen this before, literally. The Four of Wands, we can talk about that. This is really, it's not just like manic energy. This is energy that is really getting things done. The Four of Wands is completion. It's taking this fire energy and it's putting it into a structure, right? But it's not just like you're reaching a goal and that's it. It's like it's an ongoing process, right? It's almost like you're trying to figure out a routine or a system to keep pumping out results. Yeah. Because this is not a permanent structure. This is not something that is, you do this, you build it, and then we can relax and it's forever. The fours always represent things that are changing, right? You're building something, but it's kind of like you're building a step, and then you're building the next step, and then you're building the next step and the next step, and there's really no limit there, right? This is someone who's on a journey, and every night you have to build a campfire. You take your fire and you build the stones around it, and then you put your fire right there in the middle, and it's good. But then the next morning, you extinguish the fire, you put the stones back, and then you keep moving. So you're on this journey in your life that I think is, I don't know that there's an end goal. Of course, I don't see that anyway. I wouldn't be able to tell you what your end goal is or if you even have one. I think it's this process of manifestation, this process of creation that you love. You love the building the campfire every night and then traveling by day. You love building the step and then taking the step up and then building the next step. You don't know what's at the top of the stairs, but you enjoy the building, the making of it, right? And really, the only earth energy we have is the Princess of Pentacles. Now, that could be your end game, your end result, but this card is very non-specific. This card is kind of just saying everything. What does the Princess of Pentacles represent? Literally everything. Every other card in the tarot pack is within this one. And maybe that's good. Maybe then we've got some air, we've got some water, we've got more earth, we've got all the major arcana in here. So you're trying to really create everything. And that, to me, there's infinite possibilities here. You're trying to really create a universe, it kind of feels like, right? It's very, very interesting. Let's see, where else can we go? Does someone in your life have fainting spells? I feel like there's someone that is kind of prone to just kind of like passing out or losing consciousness. It feels like fainting. I don't know if it has something to do with all the fire, if it's a heat thing, or if it's just kind of maybe blood pressure. Is there maybe a quick drop in blood pressure? Something like that. Maybe it's blood pressure. Sometimes these details come in, and I don't know if they're meant to be symbolic or literal. Take them how they resonate with you. If they do, if they don't, that's fine. Leave them for the next person. A lot of the time it is those details come through to validate the energy that we're in, to confirm some things, and to offer synchronicities for people. Okay. The Nine of Wands back here. A real strength. And I think this is the spiritual connection that we need, and this is in the past here. This is the energy that is behind you, right? So if I say the past, I don't necessarily mean that this is from your childhood or your history or from yesterday even. But this is kind of what is behind you. This is the reason why you've got so much fire energy here anyway. And that is because you have a connection, and it's really hard to see unless you're really looking for it. You've got this lunar connection here. And really there's a lot of interesting Sagittarius cards that I'm just realizing, right? This card here is the Moon in Sagittarius. We've got Mercury in Sagittarius. We've got Saturn in Sagittarius here. Even the Queen of Wands, right? Is that mutable fire energy. Water of fire. That's the Sagittarius kind of energy in practice. So there's a lot of, that's Aries, yeah. So there's a lot of, I don't know, I think this spread here is really us peeking into the essential Sagittarius energy, the quintessential Sagittarian. And if we opened you up, this is what we'd see, and we do see that lunar connection. There is that connection with spirit, with psychic energy, with intuition and instinct. You're not just someone who's blindly shooting arrows everywhere. No, you have this spiritual force guiding your hand. Yeah. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional about this. It feels like you're doing such amazing things for your life, for all of us, for the world, really amazing things. And I almost feel like we all need to thank you for what you're doing, And I don't know that you understand even the importance of what you're doing. I think you do. We've got the Queen of of Wands up there at the top, right? It's at the top of the path of the dove. So I think you do have a sense of how important your work is to the world. I feel like you have tremendous discipline. And it really is from this 9. And it's because you have this connection with a sense of purpose, with spirit, with instinct and intuition. That gives you strength. That gives you discipline and commitment, right? Who in your family has the heart issues? I feel like there is a spirit that's with you, and it might be a relative. Maybe it is an older female energy. I feel like they had some kind of a heart thing. But I feel like they're still with you. There's still an influence on you, and maybe something you're doing. Well, maybe you're doing some sort of medical thing, or some sort of research or innovation, or something that is meant to heal the world, right? Not to be too cliche about it, but I feel like you're doing something very significant. And all this fire energy, to me, the fire energy really does represent health and vitality, right? It's not so much medical science, but it's a way of like empowering everybody. Building up, maybe it's like fitness, or there's some kind of, some sort of revolutionary idea in longevity, or in healing, or something that is going to promote this kind of vital energy in people, right? It could be a way of bringing out all of the creativity in people too. You know, really, I don't know, really firing people up. I feel like everybody that comes in contact with you is very motivated by you. And maybe that's something you're doing, motivational speaking, motivational, YouTube videos, or writing. I don't feel like it's writing. I feel like that's too low key for you right now. I feel like you're doing something that's just big and out there and public, almost almost like performative. Yeah. And I feel like it's really inspiring people. Okay, so I guess now we'll go to the path of the serpent. We talked about the 9 of Wands, and I think that really is where you get this kind of strength and discipline. Because I think anyone else here would get so burned out with all this fire energy that we'd very quickly be in a 10 of Wands situation, and we wouldn't be able to move a muscle. It reminds me of the last time I tried to hike up. It was only a few thousand feet of a mountain climbing kind of thing, if you could call it that. But it was the incline was so steep that at the end of the day, it took like 7 hours to get up and back down. By the end of the day, I was just spent, wasted, completely gone. And it took me days to recover. This was like 10. This was a few years after my liver transplant, which I had in 2010. It was a couple years after that, and I decided to go on this big hike. And I finished, but it finished me for like a week after that. I feel like you've got this kind of strength and discipline that it's not just wasted energy. Again, it's kind of what we were talking about here. It's not just going in every direction haphazardly. No, it's very focused and concentrated. But sometimes you need the reminders how to reel it in and how to keep it disciplined and keep it kind of goal-oriented. With the 4 of Wands here again, it's kind of like this focus on one goal at a time rather than trying to do 50 million things at once. Let's just kind of, let's complete one thing, let's complete another thing. It's like one step at a time rather than trying to build the whole house, all at once. Focus on one section at a time, that sort of thing, right? As we talk about these cards, first I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, all right? And it really helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Okay. Now, we talked about the 8. We talked about the 10. I think the 10 really is this advice that you need to take care of yourself, right? You have this discipline, but I don't know if you're the one that maybe has the heart issues or the fainting thing or the blood pressure thing, but just make sure that you maintain your health, right? See your doctor regularly, take the medication that they prescribe, listen to the advice of the professionals, that sort of thing. I'm not a medical person. This isn't any kind of diagnosis or anything. It's just generally good advice. Take care of yourself, especially when you have all of this vital energy burning so brightly. We don't want you to burn out. Yeah. And incidentally, we've got an Ace of Wands here in the next position. And to me, it's kind of like starting again. It's one idea after the other. You're like a good idea machine right now. But since we have an Ace of Wands in that position, it feels like your worry, if there is any worry at all ever here, your one concern is that one day you might run out of ideas. Ace of Wands. This is the good idea. This is the beginning of every kind of project, every idea you have. Some of them you don't really need to follow through with. But this is like, we don't want to run out of ideas. Just keep them coming. Write them all down, right? Get somebody to write them down for you if you're too kind of busy to do that. Maybe if there is another piece of advice in this reading, it is to write some of this energy down, because the fire energy is kind of, it burns, right? And it doesn't leave anything behind but ashes, right? So it's a good thing we have this Princess of Pentacles here, because we need something solid to show for it. We don't want this to just be like a flame that, where does it go? It just rises upward. Eventually it's gone, right? We don't know where fire goes when we extinguish it. So we want to have a permanent record. We want to have something solid that you're leaving through all of this effort. And I think this is in the form of the people that you touch, the people that you influence, the lives that you affect, and also the things that you build, the companies that you produce, the institutions or the foundations that you make, the relationships that you forge, right? Are you raising kids? Do you have students of some kind? Because I feel like part of your legacy is what you instill in those students or those kids. I feel like you're teaching some young people something. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what you leave behind as well. What you give to others. Yeah. But also in the form of, physical things, written things, and maybe you've got to do a book or a memoir or a self-help manual or something like that, or some YouTube videos that can exist here in the cloud for forever. Because we need you. I feel like you have all of this wisdom and you just can't get it out fast enough. You have so much to offer people, but life is so short, right? And so you're really burning brightly to get all of this stuff out. And we need it. We need it from you. And it sucks that we need so much from you, but I feel like this is your mission. This is who you are. And you've got to get as much of this out as you can. I don't think you're going to run out of good ideas anyway, is what I'm talking about. Now, back to the Ten of Wands for a moment, because it is Saturn in Sagittarius. This is understanding who you are and what your vital energy is capable of, and also being able to restrict that. You don't have to go at level 10, highest volume, turn the burner up to high all the time. Learn how to dial it back a little bit and rest. You don't have to go full bore, pedal to the metal, 100%, 24 hours a day. Okay? The Six of Wands at the end, this is really, all of the things that you're accomplishing are not just for you. And that's the Six of Wands to me. It's victory, but it's like you're leading the rest of us to victory. The victory is not even for you. I don't even think you care about winning or about the end goal of anything. Because again, your passion is in the building. Your passion maybe is in the leading the rest of us to victory, to seeing all of us succeed. Right? That is success for you. Really, this really is an astounding set of cards. Because the Six of Wands is a lot of care and concern for others. This really is, I think, you being the leader and leading the rest of us to our big wins, to our victories. Yeah. This is This is something else. Let's look at the mystery card. If this is fire, if this is another fire card, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to finish the reading and move on to the next one. But I'm going to be a little bit flabbergasted, I think is the word. I'm just going to say this is going to be the Temperance card, your power card, the Sagittarius card itself. Otherwise, whatever it is going to show us kind of a little bit of what we need. We have all this fire. What else do we need? Do you need a drink of water? Right? Do we need an Ace of Cups? Do we need I don't know, a Four of Swords or something? Do we need a little bit of rest? Do we need a little bit of repose and solitude and meditation and quiet? What is it that we need here? So if you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. I think you're probably right. Whatever you're putting down is going to be right. Here we go. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I think for the first time I'm at a loss for words. The Art or Temperance card. This is the Sagittarius card. This is your power card. This is your spiritual archetype. And so I think the reading here is really what's inside of this card. I think what we're doing is we've cut open this card and we've opened it up and we're looking inside. And this is what we see. This card also has a little bit of advice, something that we need, and that's moderation, right? That is, don't burn the candle at both ends. Don't wear yourself out. Take the lesson of the 10 and have a little bit of that Saturn energy in the Sagittarius energy. Learn to dial it back a little bit. Learn restraint, right? We want you to be around helping for a long, long time. So do what you need to do to make sure that happens, right? You're so busy doing all of this work that you've got to take care of your physical existence as well as your mental and emotional thing. So this card's also taking a little bit of water into the fire, right? A little bit of water. You throw a little bit of water on the fire, it's not really going to hurt the fire, right? It's going to evaporate the water. So maybe we need the right kind of proportion of fire and water to where the fire is low enough that the water can simmer and boil and create a nice tea or beverage or something, or cook a nice meal and not extinguish the fire, but then also that the fire is not raging so hot that any water that comes in just gets evaporated immediately, right? And so that is kind of like accept pleasure, accept love and affection into your life. Have those intimate relationships, have those deeper connections with people. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy other people. Take time to really smell the flowers and to have a hot meal and to enjoy your company. Enjoy your people. Don't be burning so bright that any gesture of love coming your way just gets evaporated, right? But then don't go the other way where you're taking in all this stuff and your fire just dies out, right? So it's about the moderation and about balance. This is the best reading I've ever had. It's certainly the most unique. We're going to do an extended reading. I can't wait to see what we get there. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link up in the corner here, or there's a link down in the video description. New readings for Sagittarius every Wednesday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. But I'm here every day. Just come on back. See me again tomorrow. Okay? I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. Leave me a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Is it hot there? I thank you. I love you. And we're all in this together.